Hi, I'm Scott Steiner. This is EDL 851, Module 12, the case study. Case summary, people involved. Myself as acting principal, Mrs. Stevens, the teacher, and her students. Later on, there will be others, but presently, according to this, that's the three main players. Summary overview. I had observed Mrs. Stevens many times throughout the school year. Very evident she was having class management and student engagement issues. Um, There was little to no improvement at all through each observation. But the last observation was not good, and I decided to select her for no rehire for the following year. Met with her in my office and gave her my findings, and she obviously was not very happy about it, and so she was defensive and accused at the meeting that she did not receive any help or support after the observations, and she refused to accept any suggestions then of any actionable feedback that I was giving her about trying to engage her kids more. Um, she threatened to take it to court if we were to follow through, based on her not getting any help for improvement. Were there any legal or ethical issues? Well, not sure what the other observations and feedback meetings were like. Was actionable feedback or evaluation strategy plan offered or not? If no help or assistance was offered, then there could be some ethical and some legal issues that can come to light because of that. There's certainly no harassment or any true bias against her. It was evident, other than the fact she just didn't have very good evaluations from the previous observations this year. Also, I'm not sure of the contractual agreement, the contract that she had with the district, so I'm not sure if there would be any kind of breach of contract, so to speak. My one kind of summary sentence: after many observations and evaluations from Mrs. Stevens, the school year have seen no improvement in the classroom management or student success. Therefore, I will recommend that she is not to be rehired for next year. That is based off of the case study to this point. Okay. Now, synthesizing the fact, the people, myself, Ms. Stevens, and her students, uh, place her classroom, my office. The program is, I'm not sure what grade level she teaches. I don't know what time of day, early, middle, late in the day, where the observations that I conducted took place. Wasn't listed. I don't know what classes she teaches, what subject area. I don't even know the student's academic level, AP, CP, at risk, or what. I just don't know. None of that was listed in the case study. So, and also, I don't know if there were any feedback sessions after the previous observations. So I'm just left on she was observed, it wasn't good, and I'm not going to rehire her at this moment. Moving forward, review and prioritize the information to the stakeholders. Can it be damaging to the stakeholders of the community? The tenure position is up for Mrs. Stevens. Um, it's at stake, so is her employment. The morale of the fellow teachers, because I don't know how long she's been employed with the school or how long she's been in the community. Um, the community could be, they could be upset. What individuals and groups have important stakes in the outcome? That obviously Ms. Stevens, myself, and the district, and for either the legal actions that may come to light, or I'm having to hire a new teacher and fill a position. The community, again, we don't know how long she's been in the community, and they could become unhappy if she is released. Have all the stakeholders been consulted at this point? No, just her and myself. The students haven't been told, parents, at this point, no. But probably her department head at this point has been notified of some plan that's going to move forward by now. What can I learn about the situation? Yes. Can I learn more? Yes. I can give student surveys to gain insight from them. Now, I do so in a way that would seem not to point her out, but I would probably give student surveys to maybe that whole hallway or that whole department or whatever. But I would focus on their responses from her class. Um, is she clear on the district policies on instructional expectations that is set forth? Does she know them? Does she know how to follow through with them? Um, what were her past observations and evaluations like? What came of those? And who conducted them? Um, I could refer back to them. Were there any actionable feedback given to her to support improvement? Again, it wasn't listed, so I don't know if there was. What kind of relationship does she have with her peers and students and other administrators? Good, bad, or indifferent? We don't know. Do I know enough to make the decision? I really need to know if improvement plans from actionable feedback were given to her from previous observations and evaluations. That's very important because if they were and she didn't follow through with them, that's on her. If they weren't, that's on me. Ultimately, as the principal, it's on me. So that is something that I need to know before I can make a solid decision. Options and possible consequences. Option one, not making a decision. By not acting at all, just letting it go, like nothing ever happened, she becomes tenured. Then it kind of shows the staff that I will kind of bend under the threat of legal action and not hold fast. It sends the message that leadership is not as strong as it should be, and the potential for her students the following year to be not as successful as they possibly could be with a better teacher or better teaching. That's option one. Option two, reevaluate and reassess Mrs. Stevens. Ensure that all measures of support are in place and offered as actionable feedback to her. Make sure that all policy and laws regarding teacher evaluations are followed. Basically, we just kind of start over like a do over and cover all the bases to make sure that everything is done properly, um, and just continue on. Option three, um, inform the district of the difficulties I've had with Mrs. Stevens in this school year and the plan moving forward. She gets tenured, but on a probationary period. Okay, she can retain that tenure if she follows through with this probational period. Um, she has to attend mandatory professional learning and development sessions in her areas that have shown difficulty through observation. Placed on an improvement plan that she must follow that will implement improvement strategies and have a system of monitoring many informal and formal observations, both announced and unannounced, to gauge that improvement. Um, and let her be aware that we're going to do this a little bit more so than normal under these circumstances, and have a fellow teacher, probably her department head in her department, come and observe and give some feedback of their own. But also have her from time to time observe other teachers in her department so that she can gain ideas on classroom management or student engagement or things of that nature that can help her out during her observations. But make that mandatory, and she has to show improvement every time to get off her probation and to get back in the good graces and retain her tenure. And we'll move forward from there. Pros and cons of option one: no legal action comes against the school. Everything's good. She becomes tenured. That's the cons. She becomes tenured and shows the staff that I'll bend under the legal action, not strong leadership, and students the following year might not be as successful as they should be. Another pro is teacher morale may be good if she's not released. The community is still happy. And the cons, it shows them I'm not a very strong leader. Option two, pros, no legal action occurs. Teacher gets support that she needs. She gets her tenure status. We will ensure that all observations and evaluations are conducted and followed up properly. in accordance to policy and so forth. Again, the cons, it shows the staff weakness in leadership. It looks like we have acted as though nothing negative has happened, just business as usual. Carry on. Pros and cons of option 3. No legal action occurs. Um, we hope. Mrs. Stevens gets tenure status in her probationary period, where she has to show sustained improvement. She is required to follow the improvement plans and attend professional learning and development sessions that will help her. Um, Sends a strong message to the staff that this is a serious matter, and it shows a strong but caring leadership. The district is now aware, gives her a chance to prove herself. And the cons is she just might not be happy with the arrangement and could resist. So that would be an issue that we'd have to cross the bridge when we got to it. Choosing the best option. Personally, I would have to choose 3 in this situation because I don't know if the systems of supervision, support, and evaluation designed to promote school improvement and student success were implemented to begin with from her previous observations. So with me not really knowing that, and it's not stated in the case study, I've got to ensure and guarantee that those will be put forth. Um, this will show that I, as the principal, will be show strong leadership, but will be compassionate and caring as well. You have to do this because we're all on the same team, and I want you to succeed as well as the students. All the stakeholders will be notified except the students. They don't need to know this. Um, it does make her accountable and responsible since it will be made sure that she gets all the support for improvement that she needs. And all of that will be mandatory. And it's what's best for all stakeholders, myself, the school, the students, the community, um, the district, everybody involved. And that's why I would choose it. It gives her a chance to redeem herself, and we will smother her with all the support that she needs. And if she is a very good teacher to begin with, that she will take this and run with it and do quite well. Or she could resist it. Implementation. Uh, the path first meet with the district officials about the plan, request that they be at the meeting with Mrs. Stevens to inform her of this. Second thing would be to have the meeting with Mrs. Stevens, with myself, district officials, and her department head to be at the meeting to inform her of the plan moving forward from here. During the meeting, I will be fairly stern, but reassure her that we're all on the same team. We want what's best for her and her students. We are here for her support. We want her to succeed. We will commit to helping her with strategies of improvement and give her every ounce of support that she needs and that we can give. Um, we'll be compassionate about it, and but don't be rude and so stern you come across as being just that. Um, Plan B kind of thing. If she refuses this option, I will then consult with the district officials, which would include her legal team if she wants to pursue legal action, and see how they want to pursue the next course of action, and be up to that. Now, I would hope that I have covered all the bases by then. So that is it. Thank you.